Ah, crap.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, so there's a lot of bad news, but you know what, let's start off with the good. Specifically the fact that we've got ourselves a full lance. We got our Ancestral Blackjack, which is being fully refitted. Behemoth is running a beautiful Shadowhawk. Glitch has got a rugged Vindicator, and Decker. Poor squishy Decker, it is 2 Mlaz Spider. With this, we're well set to do what should be a milk run, which helps balance out the fact that, you know, it's been 3 years of, I assume, slumming around the rim, living paycheck to paycheck. A bit like this one, which probably isn't actually paying all that much, otherwise these guys have better garrison. So what they do have is a base with some light fortifications. All well and good for dealing with some raiders, but Majesty Metals appears to have mechs, and now they've taken their own fortified positions. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to move in fast on their position on the high ground, take out their turret generator and whatever units are holding it. Now, I'm going to stop to point out that this is critical, because I've seen a lot of people have trouble with this mission, because they didn't pick up what that little cinematic at the start is implying. If there's a turret generator, you kill the generator. That will destroy the turrets instantly. It has 100 health total, which is often less than what the individual turrets have. And you don't have to knock out every single turret. You just kill the Jenny, turrets go down. Nice and simple. With that in mind, we're going to send Decker up this goat trail. He's going to be our scout, and everyone else pushes up the road. Now, sadly, it turns out this trail can't handle a mech walking down it, but his spider has jump jets, so we'll jump him up about as far as we can go.
Up high.
You are trespassing on Majesty Metals and manufacturing property and acting in collusion with a domestic terrorist organization. Cease your advance immediately, or you will be fired upon.
Now he has a low tactical skill, which means that you get very basic sensor information. So we got 2 mechs, no idea what weight or type, and we have 2 turrets. So with them being in sensor range, we move up the main force to get into combat range, and now we begin the phase turns in earnest. So first up we have a commando running out, which is a very, very light 25 scout mech. Not a lot of weapons, but he does get a lucky hit on Behemoth in his opening round. Now, since Decker is also in a light mech, and he's also going in phase 4, I could have him go next. But I'd rather have him wait, so that way the other mech can have his turn, and then I can use him to jump in behind him, or take out the generator, or we can do a lot more with him if he moves after everyone else does. And sure enough, the other mech is a light. It's a spider just like Decker's. It walks out and takes a pot shot.
Standing by.
Now both these mechs are still in cover, and they have some movement mods which improves their chance to not be hit. But we can just have Decker jump in behind the commando, keeping his back from being exposed to those turrets.
Bandit.
And to improve his odds, I'm going to take a precision shot. This uses up the Lance morale boost to improve his aim, get a choice of where to focus his fire, and knock the enemy down a phase next turn.
All weapons are go.
Sadly, it doesn't call the metal baby as I hoped, but it will give us more time to wail on him. Next step, we take out the generator. Now sadly, Duncan isn't quite close enough to use his lasers, which means we can't just Alpha Strike kill in one turn. Instead, we're going to move Behemoth up, and she can fire everything, and... Oh, really?
Waiting on you, Commander.
So it turns out she missed with one of her SRMs, which is half the number that she fired, which puts a 2 damage off a killing blow. Fortunately, Glitch has the answer. She has multi-target, so she can plink at the generator with her LRMs, and then follow up with a PPC and laser into the commando.
Line them up and I'll shoot them down, Commander.
With the turrets out of action, we can proceed with beating down on the lights.
I leap! I soar! Take this!
The commander losing a leg
There's
is
more where that
perfect.
came
He's
from.
down and thus easy to hit. He's taken a pilot wound, in addition to one for losing a torso section, and when he gets up he'll be much slower. And since he also lost the phase from falling, plus the one the Decker made him lose earlier, it means we can focus on the spider since the commander will be going much later on.
Confirmed. Locking in all weapon systems.
On my way.
Ugh.
Another hit like that and you're toast.
You know, sometimes the
do
target
for
just won't die. As the last pilot to take an action, Duncan finishes off the commando. No real need to snipe his torso to get rid of that
Special
final bit of pilot
delivery.
HP, but yeah, it's good form. And it turns out that was a bit of overkill. The damage left over was enough to wreck his center torso. Quickly mention about how damage does work. It moves inwardly from the outer limbs into the center. So if you destroy the arm, damage moves over to the torso. If you destroy the leg, also into the torso. And then from the torsos, it goes into the center. So we destroyed that torso section, but the damage just went straight over to the center torso and blew it out anyway. The next turn brings in some enemy reinforcements at their HQ, so we gotta mop up this spider and then move out. He doesn't
On my
really
way.
do much, but then again neither does Decker. That said, melee is the best option when you're overheating. You get to move up, and you can do some damage while minimizing heat.
That's a miss.
The new arrivals decide to try and bombard Duncan,
We're
fortunately
getting
to no
outflanked.
effect thanks to that indirect fire penalty. But it does mean we need to get rid of this spider so he can stop being a spotter.
I leap. I soar.
Which Glitch takes care of with ease.
And stay down.
So the next threat is the new mech, so the Lancer's going to move around to pincer. As we get close, we can also see that there are two vehicles down there. So our focus will be on the mech
Ready for
first of all,
orders.
since the vehicles are a fair bit away. Decker again reserves, Duncan moves to the ridgeline where he can snipe at least one of the tanks below.
You betcha. Bye-bye.
And Glitch and Behemoth prepare to face tank, while making sure they don't suffer any range penalties. When you're using stuff like LRMs and AC2s, it's important to make sure that your minimum range doesn't come into effect. Well, it turns out it's a mirror match. Now the death of those lights before gave us more morale, which is earned by destroying units and mech limbs. So Behemoth uses it by taking a precision shot
Roger
to
that.
drop the enemy's phase, which is effectively pinning him. Glitch also plinks him a little bit, while Decker moves to take care of the last Scorpion tank.
Aye, aye. Orders? Copy that. Here it comes.
Yeah, it doesn't work out too well.
That shot got past my armor.
Now there are two options for the Shadowhawk. I can run behind him for full damage, but if I melee instead, it will remove his guarded status and let everyone else deal full damage.
On the move. Locked on for physical attack.
With guarded remove,
Inflict
Glitch can
some
capitalize
heavy
on this
damage.
by multi-striking, using the LRMs against the Scorpion to try and finish it,
Got
and
it.
then the Shadowhawk with everything else to deal some more damage.
Commander.
And then once again, BATTLETECH's damage system means that although sometimes you can just instantly kill a unit, most of the time they will survive as a zombie. And in this case, despite losing an arm, he manages to shoulder check glitch.
You can see daylight through my armor.
Now her low piloting skill at this
Roger.
stage means that she becomes unstable at a much lower stability damage. And... oh, fuck you too, buddy. Thankfully, Glitch doesn't take enough damage to fall, but to be safe, she pulls back and uses Vigilance. This is another morale ability that removes all stability damage, makes her guarded, plus gains a phase for the next turn. Really useful in case the Shadowhawk lives that long. Now sadly her return fire is ineffective, and Decker gets peppered by a whole bunch of machine gun fire.
Armor breach.
Now amazingly,
Internal
Decker
damage.
and the enemy live to the next turn. But for the latter, it's actually only for one more turn.
Time to die.
Roger that. Enemy down.
On my way.
Stomping
Targeting
vehicles
for
is the
physical
best way to
attack.
deal with them.
Come on, mech warriors. It's go time.
Melee does double damage, which means even a featherweight spider can one-hit light vehicles.
Here
With
we
that done,
go.
all that's left is to burn down the Triple M HQ.
Uh-huh.
And
Payday.
leg it back to base for tier medals.
Great job, Commander. Double back to our client's platform. The sooner we can collect our pay and break orbit, the better.
You gotta march
On
in
my
formation though, you gotta keep it classy.
Position.
Huh. Okay, first rule about
We've
BattleTech,
had an unknown
everyone
on
is
sensor.
bastards. Doesn't matter who you are, there are no designated good guys. You're only the good guy of your own story. Everybody's a bastard. Alright, so we're surrounded by turrets and we got vehicles coming in. Now these shredded turrets are really nasty, especially when you're up close, because that's where they're designed to operate. They got SRMs, flamers, some pack machine guns, the bigger ones pack AC-20s. I mean, being surrounded by them in this kind of environment is not going to end well, because I got 2 damage mechs already. They're
can
going
I
to
do
deal
for
like
you?
quite a bit of damage. Could end up with missing limbs, there's going to be repair time, and... oh. Okay, you know,
You
no,
betcha.
never mind, problem solved. Yeah, this is what happens when you get some FIFO work to design your base defenses.
Target destroyed.
Now they do still have tanks, which they admitted aren't enough to defend their claim from battle mechs, which they just try to steal from us. So,
Moving to position. Affirmative.
Ugh!
Copy that.
Roger that.
yeah, not the best tactical move.
One for the scrap heap.
Mission successful.
Well, we lived. But we didn't get paid. Darius, I'm confused. Is this a good ending or a bad ending?